end of the table there.
Okay.
Oh, it sounded so much better today, man.
Have the first piece made.
Okay.
So now I'm making the second one. It's an adjustable pot hanger. Adjust
Okay.
your cooking pot over the fire.
Your woodworking friend next door said we should ask you how long it takes to make a nail.
For me, a lot longer than a lot of people. I don't really like them. They tell me in the day, a nail maker, a good one, could make 100 nails an hour.
That's like 40 seconds a nail. That's
Yep. That
a
is
lot
really
longer than it takes to drive one.
And it might be a small nail, I don't know. That would be kind of my guess. That not a real big nail, but I like the story. You've probably heard the term dead as a doornail.
Yeah.
So when you shut a door, often it slams.
Yeah.
Well, that vibration will loosen nails up. So what they would do, they would use a longer nail. When they built the door, it through, and then they clench it over. When they clenched it over, it made it dead, so it would pull out.
So that's what that means.
Yep.
Huh. And what was your name?
I'm Norm Gable.
Norm Gable. Okay. And I see they started the dulcimer.
Yeah, her hammering sounds better.
Yeah. Yours is arguably more useful. It's a pretty good forge they've got in here.
Did you say forge or forge?
Forge. Also both.
The about, I'm not sure anymore, 6-7 years ago, our other shop burned down. And so we rebuilt this one. And at that time I knew that Williamsburg had just rebuilt their blacksmith shops within the last couple of years before that. So I got in contact with their head blacksmith and asked if there was any way to get a copy of their plans. Because I'd heard theirs worked really well. And so they were kind enough to share the blueprints out of their forges with us. So this is actually a Williamsburg forge.
So what time period would this be from?
This setup right here, you could go anywhere with a bellows, probably from about the 1920s back to zero BC.
I mean, this exact the bricks and everything.
Well, with the bricks, you would find these in larger cities. So how far back you would go with bricks, probably, you know, I wouldn't be surprised it goes back to 1000 AD.
One's identical to you have here.
Pretty much. I mean, you used the bellows, you blasted air in. A lot of the small forges were made of rock and mud. But when you go back and you look at cities, when they started manufacturing brick and laying them up, entirely possible that it was done, you know, at the same time. So a brick forge like this, you know, many years.
Okay. Just kind of Just kind of interesting. A Viking would see that, say that's really nice, but it wouldn't mess with his head.
They would come in here and go, wow, this is great. And piece would be the vise. They didn't have vices like this. They had vices. The anvil is a little different, not a lot, but a little bit. And they would ask questions about, like, well, why is this hole here? Explain it to them, and they'd go, that's ingenious. You know, why didn't we think of that? They would pick up a hammer and a pair of tongs and feel right at, and they would simply look at that as a different way of heating the metal than it was when they were walking the earth. You know, they would go, improvements, technology, just like we are today. Magnetic induction. Stick a piece of metal in it, drum a pedal, and 30 seconds later you got a hot piece of iron. That technology didn't exist 10 years ago, but it does today.
People blacksmith using magnetic induction?
Oh, yeah.
Didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't have one yet, but I'm planning on getting one. I was at a shop 4 days ago that they use it quite a bit. Rather than firing up even a propane forge, because it takes so long to get the heat built up. You know, you can start the fire, but it takes a while to get that core heat built. So a magnetic induction, you don't need to do that. You just stick it in, hit it, and it's hot.
So what's the cost of this technology?
You can buy that technology for $1,000.
That's quite reasonable, really.
It is. It is.
I mean, I knew they had it in foundries. I didn't realize on the consumer level.
Yeah. And in fact, you go on eBay or Amazon, you can buy handheld units. They call them bolt busters because they're designed for mechanics, where you put the core over the head of a bolt on something and trigger it, and it heats that bolt up without using a flame. So you got an area where you don't want to catch everything else on fire with a acetylene torch.
Well, also you got to melt stuff with a torch. It's hard to get it exactly get the heat where you want. I own a torch, I know, but people ruin a lot of stuff trying to heat that bolt, or they cut it off accidentally, or they ruin the backing, or all kinds of nasty stuff happens.
Absolutely. Yeah, I got burned with one last winter by accident. One of my lesser achievements. I wasn't even blacksmithing, I was fabricating.
I think what I ever did was set my sleeve on fire.
Well, blacksmithing, the worst thing I've done, well, the funniest thing I've done, I guess I should say, not the worst, but we were at an event like this, and we were in we had our portable rigs, we were out under canvas, and I laid my hot iron. My wife asked me to talk to those people. So I laid my hot iron in the forge like this. Unbeknownst to me, it flipped out, landed on the ground, and leaned up against my leg.
Oh.
Now, I was wearing a tall stocking, breeches, and I had leggings on. Well, it burned through the leggings, and my wife was like, honey.
You're on fire.
Honey, what? I'm talking to these people. What do you want? Oh, crap. So the next time I said, dear, anytime you see that in the future, just yell, you're on fire. I burned myself, but it was, rather comical.
Yeah, that's the advantage of wearing a lot of clothes, I guess.
But anyway, no, I had a stupid accident in January and burned the back of my fingers with some cutting torch. So, don't want to do that again.
Yeah, I can understand. Weirdest burn accident we ever had, burned his leg on a 9-end Ford muffler.
Yeah.
They're undershot mufflers.
Mm-hmm.
And he said the doctor just sat down laughing when he told him that. Apparently he thought this 350-pound man was a Soleil routine, and
well, the doctor at the burn unit wasn't laughing at me. He let me know he wasn't very happy about it.
Yeah, I got that.
So, but anyway, I survived.